This is Coastal Bend History.
So, Port Aransas has been around really since the late 1800s, originally called Ropesville, and then Tarpon because of the large number of fish being caught nearby, and finally Port Aransas in 1910. But in 1886, a small hotel opened along the waterfront called the Tarpon Inn.
There's so little of this that's documented that you don't really know.
The origins of the hotel are murky with no actual documentation. One historian says it was built from surplus material from an old Civil War barracks, but the current owner, Leroy Hoskins, says he believes the original building was the barracks. The first deed to the property was issued to the second owner, Ed Cotter. Cotter, a fishing guide, partnered with Ed Green in the early 1900s to offer guided fishing tours for tarpon here in the coastal bend. They would launch from the Tarpon Inn with Cotter's motorized boat. According to Hoskins, it was the very first time a motorized boat was used for sport fishing anywhere in the country. It helped change the course of sport fishing forever. The 1919 hurricane devastated the coastal bend. But according to Hoskins, the damage in Port Aransas was caused by a massive oil tank that was pushed into town and destroyed several buildings, including the original Tarpon Inn.
So once the oil tank washed into this thing, wiped these two buildings out, all they had left was this building in the back.
The remaining building on the property continued to be used as a hotel. In 1923, the property was sold to James Ellis, and he built a larger building for the hotel. The original smaller building became a kitchen. The new building included huge wooden poles cemented deep into the ground. They doubled as internal pillars for the building, making it resistant to future hurricanes. Sometime around 1926, a fire destroyed the kitchen and seriously damaged the hotel. Ellis used this opportunity to expand the number of rooms, adding 2 more sections onto the hotel. The hotel then hosted a number of celebrities, including the glamorous actress and inventor Hedy Lamarr, food critic and author Duncan Hines, but arguably the biggest visitor was President Franklin D. Roosevelt. And while he didn't stay in the hotel, he did fish off our coast, and a scale from the tarpon he caught is signed and hanging on the wall in the Tarpon Inn. In fact, one of the walls in the main office of the inn is covered in the scales, each signed and dated. The oldest we found when visiting was from July of 1897. In August of 1970, Hurricane Celia made landfall near Aransas Pass, once again damaging the Tarpon Inn. That was enough for the Ellis family to sell the property. After 5 years of repairs, the Tarpon Inn was back as a mecca for sport fishermen and tourists. It added to the National Register of Historic Places and was named a Texas Historic Landmark in 1979. But then in 2017, Hurricane Harvey damaged the Tarpon Inn again, but it quickly reopened after just 8 months of repairs.
The current owner of this place, Leroy Hoskins, tells us he's working on his own complete history of the Tarpon Inn. He's also helping establish a sport fishing museum here in Port Aransas. Tell you what, if you want to learn more about the Tarpon Inn, you can go to our website, christv.com, click on the Coastal Bend History tab, or you can scan the QR code you see on your screen. Next week, we're going to talk about other presidents and presidential candidates who have stopped through the Coastal Bend. Until then, I'm Andy Lascano.